GG here with video number 6 of our KARDS Basic Training series. I'll be explaining card mechanics and going over the in-game encyclopedia. Starting off, I'll go over the credit mechanic in this game. You start the game with 1 credit and gain 1 credit at the start of each turn, unless somehow modified by cards either played by you or your enemy. In this game, units have deployment and operation costs, indicated by big and small numbers. The big number is the deployment cost, aka what it costs to put that unit onto the battlefield. The small number is the operation cost, aka what it costs to move or attack with that unit. Going over unit types, we'll start with infantry. Infantry can only attack enemies in the same front. They can deal and receive damage when both attacking and being attacked. They cannot attack and move in the same turn unless otherwise specified. Artillery can attack anywhere on the battlefield, receives no damage when attacking, returns damage when attacked, cannot attack and move in the same turn. Tanks can only attack enemies in the same front, can move and attack in the same turn. If a tank has blitz, it can move and attack in the same turn it comes to play, because blitz gives units the ability to move and attack at the same turn they come into play. Don't get this confused with tanks. Tanks without blitz can move and attack the same turn, but not the same turn they come into play. That requires blitz. Tanks deal and receive damage when both attacking and being attacked. Bombers can attack anywhere on the battlefield, receive no damage when attacking, does not return damage when attacked. Fighters prevent bombers from attacking non-fighter targets in the same front, cannot attack and move in the same turn. Fighters can attack anywhere on the battlefield, deal and receive damage when both attacking and being attacked, prevents bombers from attacking any non-fighter target in the same front, cannot attack and move in the same turn. Orders. Orders are cards that are played and then discarded and have an effect. This is comparative to countermeasures, which can be indicated by a question mark icon in the middle, whereas a order has the exclamation point. Countermeasures are a hidden effect that can only trigger from your hand, aka the owner's hand, on the next enemy turn. So how you play an order is you play it on your turn, something happens, it gets discarded. How you play a countermeasure is you play the countermeasure, turn changes to your enemy, they do something that procs the countermeasure, and then an effect happens. Moving into the Encyclopedia, which can be found via the settings option. Alpine. Most Italy units have Alpine, and this is an ability when an Alpine unit is deployed or added, it gets +1/+1 for each other friendly Alpine unit you control. Let's say, for example, you have 2 Alpine units already on the board and you deploy a third one. This third Alpine unit will get +2/+2 because there are already 2 Alpine units on the board. Ambush. When attacked for the first time each turn, this unit deals its damage first and receives no damage if it destroys the enemy unit. This is important to remember. When attacking in a unit with ambush, if you would attack it with artillery or bomber first, since artillery and bombers don't receive damage when attacked, this will negate the ambush and therefore let you attack this unit with a second attacker that will nullify the ambush. Artillery we've discussed. Blitz is a ability I discussed briefly with tanks. Blitz allows units to move and attack the same turn they come into play. We discussed bombers. We discussed countermeasures. Some deck building tips is your deck must contain 40 cards. One of those cards always being your HQ. To add cards to your deck, drag them to the lower row, aka your deck, from the upper row, aka your library, in your deck builder. Deployment abilities trigger when the card is played from hand. destruction abilities trigger when the card is destroyed. We discuss fighters. Fury is an ability that gives units the ability to attack twice each turn, if they can afford it with the operation cost. Guard. Adjacent units cannot be attacked except by bombers and artillery. So what you'll see is there will be a unit with a guard, and what you want to do is put this unit with guard in between two units that don't have guard, because guard units cannot be guarded. A guarded unit can only be attacked by bombers and artillery. So this is kind of confusing for newer players, but remember this. There are units that have guard. What this unit does is they give other units the guarded ability, which means that that unit can only be attacked by bombers and artillery, which is very strong. Heavy armor 1 or 2 is where a unit receives 1 or 2 less damage when being attacked by other units. Mostly this is tanks and bombers. HQ is the victory condition of the game, aka destroy the HQ of the enemy. Both HQs start with 20 HP. Immune icon, this means that a unit cannot take damage while immune. It can also be a HQ. So this immune icon can apply to a unit or an HQ. We discussed infantry. Mobilize mostly applies to French units, and this is where a unit gets +1/+1 at the start of every turn unless it loses mobilize. And how it loses mobilize is it gets damaged. So if a unit isn't damaged and it has mobilize, it will get 1/1 on every turn until it's damaged. Mulligan. The mulligan stage takes place at the start of each battle and is where you are given the option to redraw your starting hand. Select the cards you wish to discard by left-clicking them, and they will be replaced with random cards from your deck. We discuss orders. A passive effect is an effect that changes the game rules in some way while in play. So, for example, there's a card out there that when a friendly unit dies, deal 1 damage to the enemy HQ. That would be considered a passive effect. Pin and pinned are very similar. This is a verb. You pin stuff, and this is, I guess, a descriptor. This has been pinned. So if you want to pin a unit, what that will do is it will force the unit to miss its next possible operation, aka movement or attack. And then after you pin a unit, it becomes pinned, thus missing its next possible movement or attack. Retreat. When a unit retreats from the front line to move it back to its owner's support line. If the support line is full or the unit is retreating directly from the support line, send it back to its owner's hand. So, important to remember, your HQ is where your support line is. The middle ground between the HQs is the front line. Smokescreen is an ability where a unit cannot be attacked until it has been moved or attacked. We discussed tanks. I just discussed front line and support line. The front line sits between the two sides, aka between the two HQs. Only one player can control the front line at a time. The support line can hold 4 units at a time, and this is where your HQ is at. So you have your HQ and 4 units in the support line. The front line can hold 5 units. Last but not least, trigger is an ability that affects the game rules in some way while in play, and is denoted by the gear icon. That is it for our KARDS Basic Training series for now. Thank you so much, guys. Hope to see you out there on the battlefield, and as always, catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MattAGG. Cheers.